All right, everyone, get comfy. Because today we're taking a deep dive into something really exciting. We're heading to Colmar, France, but not just any time. We're time traveling to fall 2024.
We've got event calendars, articles, those local guides you love, really digging deep to give you the inside scoop on Colmar.
I am so ready for this. So paint us a picture. What's Colmar like in the fall?
Okay, so close your eyes and imagine cobblestone streets, those charming half-timbered houses you see in pictures, and the colors of fall reflected in the Loch River, which, by the way, winds its way through the city.
Oh, that sounds just magical. And I have to say, looking at the November events, one thing immediately caught my eye. Japan Week. From the 12th to the 17th? Seriously, this thing looks massive.
It really is. And what's fascinating is the depth they're going into with Japanese culture. Hundreds of artists, traditional music, samurai demonstrations, they've even got chindan.
Now, chindan, that's not something you hear every day. What is that exactly?
So picture street musicians, a whole parade of them, and they're going through the streets. But here's the twist. They've got advertising mixed right in. It was a big part of Japanese culture, especially after the war.
Wow, that's so unique. It's amazing how these events can transport you to a different culture without ever leaving the city.
Exactly. And even beyond these big festivals, Colmar has this unique rhythm. Like, picture yourself at the St. Joseph Market, a weekly thing that locals love. Or, want to get even more local, take a dip in the Aqualia pool.
I love that mix of local experiences with those big attractions. And speaking of attractions, we have to talk about Colmar's artistic side. The Unterlinden Museum with the Eisenheim altarpiece, I'm really curious about that one.
Oh, it's incredible. Grunewald, the artist, he really pushed the boundaries for his time. The way he uses color and emotion, especially for the Renaissance period, it's mind-blowing. You could say it's a pivotal piece in Western art history.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. And of course, you can't talk about art in Colmar without mentioning the Musée Bartholdi, right?
Absolutely. It's dedicated to Auguste Bartholdi, the sculptor behind the Statue of Liberty. And here's a fun fact. He was from Colmar.
Wait, really? There's a Statue of Liberty connection in Colmar. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah. There's actually a replica of the Statue of Liberty right there in Colmar.
You're kidding. Although I have to admit, I was a little surprised to read that it's in a traffic circle. In a shopping area. Not quite the grand pedestal I was picturing.
Yeah, it is a bit of a funny place for it, isn't it? But when you really think about it, this symbol of freedom right in the middle of everyday life, it really says something about Colmar, don't you think?
That's actually a really cool way to look at it. It's like this little reminder, even with everything going on, those big ideas are still a part of the city.
Exactly. And speaking of being a part of the city, let's switch gears for a second. From grand sculptures to something delicious. Have you heard of Nut Alsace?
Oh, is that like the Alsatian Nutella I read about? Hazelnut based, I think?
You got it. A local chocolatier, Jacques Bockel, makes it. And yeah, you're right about the hazelnuts. Alsace has this whole history with hazelnut cultivation going way back to like the 17th century. So it's this ingredient they love to use.
That's amazing. I love how food can tell a story like that. And I bet it tastes incredible too. Okay, besides that, what else should we add to our must-try list?
Well, we can't forget the cheese, specifically Munster cheese. It's strong, like definitely a taste you acquire, but the locals are really proud of it. You can find it at Fromagerie Saint-Nicolas, a really old-school cheese shop.
Between the art, the history, all this incredible food, I'm starting to think we need a game plan for actually exploring Colmar. Any recommendations for taking it all in? Maybe burning off some of those pastries?
You're in luck. Colmar is amazing for bikes.
Yeah.
Seriously, rent a bike and take a ride along the Loch River. There's a beautiful path right by the water, perfect for a relaxing afternoon.
Now that is my kind of exploring. Maybe pack a picnic basket, find a nice spot.
Exactly. And if you want something a little different, you could even work a wine tasting tour into the bike ride. The Alsace region is known for its vineyards. There's a bunch of routes you could take.
Hold on, a wine tasting bike tour? That's incredible. I never realized Alsace was known for its wine.
Oh, yeah. They've got this unique microclimate that's perfect for certain grapes, particularly white wines like Riesling and Gewürztraminer.
Wow, this is just mind-blowing, and we haven't even left the studio yet. Okay,
Yeah.
So say we were actually planning this wine tour. Where would you suggest going? Okay, so say we were actually planning this wine tour. Where would you suggest going?
Well, the Route des Vins is a classic for a reason. It takes you through all these charming villages and vineyards, beautiful views the whole way. And for booking, I think Rue des Vignerons, their website, that seems to be the go-to.
That's going straight on the list. It's amazing how you can think you know a place, but then you dig a little deeper. And I mean, Colmar has always been this charming, almost fairy tale-like place in my mind, and don't get me wrong, it is, but there's so much more to it.
That's the thing about Colmar, isn't it? That blend of fairy tale and history is what makes it so captivating. Like you've got these amazingly preserved medieval buildings, but then you've got those connections to people like Bartholdi who had such a global impact.
Yeah, it's like stepping back in time, but there's still that connection to today. Plus, you've got that cultural mix, the French and German influences all coming together.
Right. And that's not just in the past, it's in the language they speak, the food, even just looking at the architecture. It makes you wonder what other little pieces of history are hidden just below the surface.
Such a good point. It really makes you want to explore every corner, taste everything, really take it all in.
I think that's the beauty of a place like Colmar. It makes you slow down, wander a bit, use all your senses, and really appreciate all those layers of history and culture that made it what it is.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And this deep dive, it's been amazing. I feel like we've not only explored a new place, but I've learned so much about finding those hidden gems, the stories that really make a destination special.
It's been a pleasure exploring with you. And you never know, maybe our little virtual trick will inspire a real one someday.
I hope so. But until then, safe travels to everyone listening. And if you ever find yourselves wandering through Colmar, raise a glass of Alsatian wine for us, will you?